of this clowning your opponent so much. Every now and then, it's you need to do it to get in their head, but Floyd seems to just do it even when it's not necessary sometimes.
Hold me back.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are set to face off later this year. The super welterweight champion has turned to Floyd Mayweather for advice, but he's not finished with him yet.
All the way down. It's done. Ooh, there's a nice counter, and now Floyd's clowning him again. You know, I'm not a fan of this.
He's been training hard in camp for the fight, with Floyd Mayweather regularly helping him sharpen key aspects of his boxing to secure a win and hand Canelo Alvarez his third loss. His training includes intense shadow boxing, defensive techniques, footwork, punching, counterpunching, and improving his adaptability in the ring. Terence Crawford is an ambidextrous fighter and one of the smartest boxers of his generation, so Mayweather doesn't have much to change in the undefeated super welterweight.
So Floyd is very defensive now. He's letting his opponent get off. He's just making him miss. I mean, this is getting in his head enough. Putting it this way, he doesn't.
Terence Crawford hopes to keep Mayweather in his camp as he prepares for fight night, hoping everything falls into place. It's no secret that Crawford and Canelo Alvarez have been in talks for months. After knocking out Errol Spence Jr. in the summer of 2023, Crawford called out Canelo. At the time, he was the undisputed welterweight champion and would have to move up 3 weight classes for the fight. Initially, Canelo turned down the challenge and instead focused on fights against Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga. Meanwhile, Crawford moved up in weight again, winning the WBA and WBO interim titles with a decision victory over Israel Madrimov in August. Recently, rumors of a Canelo versus Crawford fight have resurfaced. Saudi boxing promoter Turki Al-Sheikh has met with both fighters, and now it looks like the fight is finally set to happen.
That's what everybody wants to see. The only way they can be answered is if me and Canelo is in the ring when we fight.
We'll see. We want to talk about it. Sit down.
According to the Ring magazine, the fight is officially set for September in Las Vegas. However, neither Canelo Alvarez nor Terence Crawford has confirmed it yet. While the fight is finalized, some details are still unclear. It will take place in Las Vegas, but the exact date and venue are not confirmed. The bout will be promoted by Turki Al-Sheikh's Riyadh season and is expected to be on pay-per-view. Reports suggest that Crawford and Canelo have agreed to fight on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Benavides has shared his thoughts on the matchup.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter. And I always say that, no disrespect to him. But,
many believe Alvarez will be too big for Crawford, who must move up 2 weight classes to challenge the unified super middleweight champion. Although Crawford, who began his career as a lightweight, will face a significant size disadvantage, Benavides isn't counting him out. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, the Mexican monster noted that Crawford's time to build his frame and his high boxing IQ could help him win against the 4-division champion Canelo. It's a good fight, Benavides said. I think it's good for both of them, but it's more important for Crawford than anyone else.
It's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big.
Anyone can beat Canelo. I think Crawford can, Benavides said. Size will definitely be a big factor, but it's a great fight. I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm happy for Crawford that he's getting such a huge opportunity. I'd give him a 7/10 chance of winning. Crawford is a great fighter, and he's known about this fight for a while, so I'm sure he's been preparing for the weight jump. When you have a high boxing IQ like Crawford, you can make your opponent uncomfortable and even hurt him. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins.
He's big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no.
Many believe Canelo isn't eager to face Benavides, but the LA native is confident the fight will happen eventually. I think it will happen if I keep doing what I'm doing. I've proven I'm a big enough name, and I'm still building my case. There's still room to grow, which will only make the fight even bigger, Benavides said. Fresh off a dominant win over Cuban danger man David Morrell in a thrilling light heavyweight fight, Benavides has been chasing the Canelo showdown for years. However, at 27, he's now focused on becoming the undisputed champion at 175 kilos. That's why he'll be watching the February 22 rematch between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol more closely than most. Meanwhile, Boxing Scene has reported that 4 fight cards are booked for the Las Vegas Strip on March 22, March 29, April 5, and May 3, the last of which remains a mystery.
Crawford, he's a great fighter, and I always say that, no disrespect him. But,
For Canelo, the May 3rd date is one to watch. He has fought on Cinco de Mayo weekend every year since 2019, except for 2020 due to the pandemic. 3 of those fights took place at the T-Mobile Arena, so it's a strong possibility. However, given how important his fight with Crawford is, Canelo might choose to take more time off to stay fresh. That said, he doesn't like long breaks based on his history. As for his next opponent, William Skull seems to be the leading candidate. The IBS super middleweight champion has been in talks with Canelo's team since early this year. Some had questioned why Canelo would consider fighting a smaller opponent like Jermall Charlo, but Canelo, now 34, is approaching the later stages of his career. While he hasn't shown signs of slowing down, he has hinted at retirement. In a recent interview with The Ring magazine, Canelo said, "I don't know yet, but I'm getting closer to retirement. I feel great, better than ever, but maybe at 38, I'll start thinking about it." He also reflected on his career, saying, "I've taken risks my whole career."
a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he
I love challenges in proving how good I am. I never focus on my record. My trainer reminds me of all the champions I've beaten. Canelo's rumored fight with Terence Crawford is expected to happen in 2025, though both fighters have current commitments. Whether the bout becomes official depends on contract negotiations and strategic decisions. Only a few fighters have shared the ring with both Crawford and Canelo, with Amir Khan being the only one to have fought both professionally. Khan, who suffered stoppage losses to both, weighed in on the potential matchup. Crawford has the skills, but Canelo is a bigger guy. It'll be a tough challenge for him. Others who have sparred both fighters have also shared their opinions. Middleweight contender Kyron Davis.
You and Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it. Sit down.
Who fought David Benavides in 2021, told Mill City Boxing that he sees Canelo as the favorite. Canelo is big, tough, and can take a punch. I don't think Crawford can hurt him with one shot. Maybe he can cut him or work the body, but it's going to be tough. Size doesn't always win fights, but when a guy has size and skill, it's a big challenge. If I had to bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. Oscar de la Hoya, despite his rocky relationship with Canelo, also shared his thoughts. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he praised Crawford's willingness to move up in weight, but believes Canelo's size.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford.
And power give him a clear advantage. Crawford didn't look as dangerous at 154, so imagine Canelo at his natural weight. It's almost no contest. When has a smaller fighter ever beaten a bigger, equally skilled fighter? It's rare. Former super middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade echoed this sentiment. I love Crawford. He's a great fighter and a good friend. But when it comes to size and power, it's just too much overall. While some believe Crawford has the skill to challenge Canelo, the difference in size and strength could be the deciding factor.
It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size in the fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard.
Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford. If Canelo...
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a a little big for Crawford. It'll be a tough to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wouldn't fight, but you got a guy that got size and skill.